Hello and welcome to another episode of the Full Force Weekly, brought to you by Generals Joe's Reborn.com, with me as your host, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80. For today's episode, I'm all on my own. In this regular video series, I round up all the week's news in the world of G.I. Joe. What is it, me?
It's the Full Force Weekly. Hello, guys. Hope everyone is doing well. Sorry I'm coming at you a bit randomly on a Friday evening, but I've had to kind of switch a little bit. Sorry, the roof is caving in. I've had to switch to tonight. Loads of stuff's happened at Joe Fest, so we've got to go live with a ton of that as well. And yeah, we've got lots to get into. I mean, loads of stuff has happened this week. It's been crazy. Pat's on the ground at Joe Fest. Brian Flynn gave us some nice little kind of, exclusives to break the O-ring news, which is kind of fun. So it's all been very, very awesome. Hope everyone is cool in the chat. Yeah, lots of you already in there. Brilliant. Like I said, lots to get through. And of course, I want to focus mainly on the Super Sevens kind of news that kind of broke just moments ago. Lots of images to get stuck into. We've got Super Cyborg as well as Reaction Plus, or like the little circle with a plus in it. All that will be explained, have no fear. And obviously, for a lot of you enjoying Joe Fest at the moment, I hope you're having a great time. Sorry I can't be there. Would love to. I'm getting massive FOMO at the moment. In any case, we've got lots to get through. So we're going to start, obviously, with Chris's Comics Corner. Which isn't really a thing, but I've made it a kind of thing. Yes, so we'll start with comics first. There's a lot to get through, so let's just do it. Destro dropped this week, and my goodness, what an amazing issue that was. No spoilers, but it was great. Again, I have been absolutely blown away by the SKYBOUND stuff so far. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the Kickstarter a little bit later, which has probably gone even more, and I've got to update the graphics, or at least check what they're up to at the moment. But in any case, Destro came out this week, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, so beautifully written. What I really liked about it was the fact that it just kept going. It felt like a deluxe edition comic for some reason. It felt like there were more pages, and that probably isn't the case, but it just kept giving you other things to get stuck into it. It was really good. And yeah, this is one, I mean, like the SKYBOUND Energon universe has just been absolutely stunning. Pass says, without spoilers, do you think we will get a head sculpt with a particular character if they ever do them, and a particular vehicle? Pastor Progi, yes on the character. Do I think they're going to do the head sculpt? Maybe. Now that I've seen it in the comic, I could see them doing that. But just to talk to you and maybe the other people that have read that issue, the character who isn't usually without mask has one. Doesn't have it on, and it's really interesting. It's kind of cool, and I never pegged that particular character to look like that. Big hair is all I'm going to say, but without any spoilers, yes to the character. Don't really know about the vehicle. I could see them just doing the figure alone, and yes, I would love them to do the head sculpt. Anyway, always start with comics, always. Right, yeah. So anyway, really enjoyed this. Lots of new characters kind of brought in. Lots of characters that are kind of introduced that you kind of think, oh, I wonder where they're going with that kind of thing, right? But anyway, just, yeah, phenomenal. So if you haven't read it already, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I just wanted to, obviously, this was news in the week. It came out and it was phenomenal. And we're getting second printings already. With Destro, with Scarlet. We'll talk about Scarlet. This is, yeah, second printings for issue 1. Again, isn't it absolutely unreal the amount of printings we're getting for these issues? Again, like sellouts and all that kind of, it's great. Keep it going. But anyway, Scarlet, gets a second printing for issue 1, and we've got a couple of covers as well to enjoy. There's Scarlet. I've actually not got the information for who's done the covers. John Boy did one of them, yes, but I don't know which one. Which one has he done? Oh, are they both John Boy Myers? Or is it the other one? It's this one, isn't it? This is the John Boy Myers one, right? This is a beauty. I can't tell who did those two. It's the same artist, but I can't tell who it is. The other iconic vehicle. Sorry, I didn't mean that particular character vehicle. The other iconic vehicle. I can't remember what was in it now, Pass. I'm just going to say yes, because probably. Annie Wu. Thank you, Ryan Daly. Annie Wu on these covers. I'm assuming, based on Ryan Daly's information. Oh, no. Jason Howard did the Scarlet and Storm Shadow. Thank you, Justin. Marco Ferrari did the group shot. Oh, okay, brilliant. Okay, nice one. Thank you for just doing that and getting that cleared up. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate it. So Jason Howard has done the Scarlet and Storm Shadow covers that we're seeing right now, and Marco Ferrari did this shot. Did this cover, which again is an absolute beauty. The John Boy Myers one you're talking about from before, yes, I see what you're saying. You were just calling out the John Boy Myers cover that he's done for Scarlet issue 1, which is really good. It is really good. And John Boy illustrated the Destro cover, which is this one. Brilliant. Okay, we've got it covered, sorted. Thank you very much. And thanks to Josh F for confirming that John Boy illustrated the Destro cover. Much appreciated. But this one's a beauty as well, because it's, it's hinting at, Snow Job being involved. But if you've read Scarlet 1, then you'll know the deal anyway. I love the Jinx is the classified version as well, with the tattoo. And of course, we've got Storm Shadow in there as well. But anyway, no, it's not. It's totally fine. I appreciate the comments. I should know, really. It's just there's a lot of information to keep at once. Oh yeah, I will shout Benedict. I will absolutely shout out the fact that Artist Shark's channel is getting shut down for some reason, and I have no idea why. It's freaking awful. So yeah, shout out to Artist Shark 100%. I was actually going to save that for shout outs, but I'll do it now because you've mentioned it in the comments. But that is absolutely true. I don't know what the hell is going on. I really don't. And it's kind of concerning because I don't know if that's going to happen to our channel. I don't have no clue. So I don't know. I'm just really, I'm quite, I don't know. I've got to say I'm really annoyed at it to some degree. I don't know the details. I saw something posted. I've been quite busy, but I saw the details posted on his on his Instagram, and I haven't been checking it because I've been busy with the family and everything. And I saw that, and I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, he is a cool dude, Derek, and does not deserve that at all. And I don't know what's going on. I genuinely have not got a clue what's going on. We are kind of a little bit out of the loop with all that stuff, genuinely, the whole kind of team. And we were kind of talking about it the other day, what the hell is happening? And so again, it makes me a little bit concerned because I don't know why that's happening or how it could be happening, and if that's going to affect our channel as well. So yeah, that's what I'm worried about, Benedict, the fact that it can happen to anybody. In any case, shout out to Shark, and I hope he gets it sorted out. Even if for whatever reason, I can't see how that could actually happen without an actual what's the word, a check from the people, the algorithm that's running YouTube. But I don't know why that isn't being checked, if you know what I mean, because it can't, that just seems a little bit it just seems a little bit too easy to be able to affect a channel like that. So yeah, shout out, and I hope that gets sorted out. On the other side of that, I would say that if it does get taken down, I hope he comes back stronger, honestly, because I think it's messed up, and I don't think any of that stuff should happen or be able to happen so easily when it's clearly not, nothing's being done untoward on his end. So I don't really understand what's going on there. So anyway, shout out to Shark, and I did reach out, haven't heard anything back, but again, I was late to that party, didn't know what was going on, and I'm still a little bit confused, genuinely. And I think it's really sad, genuinely really sad. Hope he gets it sorted out. Anyway, moving on, because we have got a lot to talk about. As well as Scarlet, we have, of course, the Kickstarter, which is going absolutely bonkers, isn't it? Surpassed 2.5 mil, is now closing in on 2.7, and the next stretch goal is going to be the special #1 repaint included with all physical pledges as a physical comic, basically, which is awesome. Like they're just trying to throw everything at it now, aren't they? But anyway, yeah. The Kickstarter is remarkable, and I'm running out of like superlatives. I'm running out of like, and the same just in general for Skybound. I'm running out of like, sorry, I was just reading that comment, Thanos. Yeah, I'm out of the loop of if there's any kind of like situation going on. I try not to get involved, or I try not to kind of, but I didn't know anything was really. I don't know what's going on still, genuinely, fully, and I would love to know. I would love to know why this is all kicking off and happening. In any case, yeah. So I'm running out of superlatives to describe what Skybound are doing, whether it's the Kickstarter or the Energon universe or a Real American Hero kind of like continuation. This is just such an absolute time for comics and for G.I. Joe comics in general, and I'm absolutely loving that side of the brand at the moment. It's unbelievable. Why is Snake Eyes covered in orange spots? It's a spotlight, I believe, that is kind of like phasing over him. But I can't recall. I just know it's an homage cover as well, isn't it? Because there's a Spider-Man cover that's very similar. It's been homaged loads, and G.I. Joe just got one of those homages along the way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the lighting. Yeah, basically. Anyway, there you go. There's your Kickstarter, and currently we are looking. I might as well call it out on the live where it is currently. And I apologize if I'm moving a little fast through all these things. It's because we do have loads to get through, and I really am excited to talk about the Super 7 news. Because, like I said, again, I got a message from Pat saying, check this out, and also Brian wants you to have it first. So I was very excited about that. Anyway, the current total is closing in on that stretch goal already. 2,617,340. 2,617,340. Wow. Absolutely blown away by that. So 4 days left, by the way, guys, if you haven't jumped in yet. If you haven't jumped in, you're probably the only person that's left. But that's incredible. If it gets to 3 million, I don't know what to say. I do not know what to say, but it very possibly couldn't it? Anyway, there you go. That's that. Now, as well as that, and I can divulge some really positive news, is that the pre-order for the early bird bundle, which is still available, by the way, for Battle Action Force Treasury Editions 1, 2, and 3, 3 volumes for the price of 2 is the early bird bundle deal. Get in on it. Pre-orders have gone insane. We're not talking, I don't think we're talking Kickstarter for Skybound levels, but it's been really good. Brian couldn't be happier, and this is a go, I think. So I'm very excited to talk about this and say that this is very positive, and the Battle Action Force compendiums are amazing. Where do I pre-order Battle Action Force? There should be a link in the description. If I haven't put it in there for whatever reason, go to totaltoybooks.com, totaltoybooks.com, and you'll be able to order it from their website, their web store. Okay. So Leon Jarmo, totaltoybooks.com. Go nuts. And obviously we've posted links and everything on our Facebook pages. If you can't find it for whatever reason, just scroll our YouTube, our Facebook, X, or Instagram for the link. In fact, the link is on our Instagram. If you go on our Instagram page, the link is in the bio as well. You can't move for Battle Action Force links. We've got them all over the place. Anyway, amazing stuff. Again, like super positive, amazing news about Battle Action Force, and I couldn't be happier. These treasury editions, like I said, the early bird bundle deal, 3 volumes for the price of 2. Get them now. Pre-order is still up, and the early bird is still available. So get involved. Right. Next up, can't believe there is no Robo-Skull cover. Are you serious? I posted an amazing video a few minutes ago of the Mark II on a whirly gig thing on a turntable. So yeah, we're covering it, and we're talking about Skeletron in a little while in the shout outs. We'll be definitely covering it in a second. Anyway, so that's awesome. Very excited about that. Can't actually recall what's next in the old slides. Is it more comics? No, it's not. Okay, yeah, cool. So now I'm going to annoy everybody by talking about G.I. Joe movie news. Who's up for it? I know, but it's going to be like just me and maybe like Justin, who's not even watching. Sorry, RKW, you were talking about the comics. Well, there are more treasury editions to follow, so this isn't the be all and end all. So there might be some sort of Robo-Skull one in the future, but I don't know is the answer to that one. Other than apologies for thinking you meant coverage of the Robo-Skull at Joe Fest. My apologies. Sometimes I don't realize what I'm talking about in the moment when I hear it. I'm an idiot, basically. So I apologize, RKW. You were talking about the Robo-Skull not being on a cover of a compendium, but don't worry, there are more to come. So I expect maybe something in the future. Anywho, Derek Connolly has been tapped as a writer for the crossover movie. So yeah, this news dropped a little while back. Actually, it's been kind of floating around for a while, but Justin and I haven't been able to get an opportunity to talk about it. We are going to be doing a news burst or a movie news burst very soon, where we talk about all of the kind of news elements that have kind of been trickled out recently. Like obviously this one with Derek Connolly's edition as a writer. We'll talk about that very shortly, and then of course. A little bit after that, we'll be talking a little bit about Lorenzo de Bonaventura's comments recently in an interview with Collider. In any case, let's get into this. So, Jurassic World writer Derek Connolly has been tapped to write the Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie based on the Hasbro toy lines for Paramount. The Wrap has learned. This is all from the Wrap, of course. The untitled new movie will continue the story after last year's Transformers Rise of the Beast, where Anthony Ramos' character Noah Diaz was offered a job with the G.I. Joe in the film's post-credit scene with the G.I. Joe. That sounds like that bit. I forget the movie, but it's when I think Vince Vaughn's in it, but they're in like they're at Google. They've got a job at Google, and they keep saying things like the online. That's what I sounded like then with the G.I. Joe. But anyway. Jurassic World writer, I like that. Not as well. I know he has some co-credits on Dominion, which isn't the best, but the other Jurassic World movies are really good. I'm a big fan. But anyway, moving on. Connolly most recently wrote the highly anticipated video game adaptation of The Legend of Zelda for Sony and Nintendo, which is currently prepping production with Wes Ball directing. I didn't know that until I read this this article. One, I didn't know The Legend of Zelda. Actually, I think I did know that was in the works, but I didn't know much about it at all. So it was really cool to find out that, okay, Wes Ball's directing and Derek Connolly's writing. Cool. Previously, he wrote Detective Pikachu, which was fun, but whatever. For Legendary Pictures, directed by Rob Letterman, with Ryan Reynolds starring, of course. One of the most sought-after writers for blockbuster franchises, Connolly received co-story by credit for Star Wars Episode 9. co-credit. I have a feel. In fact, I did hear on. I think I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, that he wrote almost like a full like treatment for Star Wars Episode 9, and it was kind of completely butchered and destroyed for what they actually came out. I believe that's the case. So he does have a version that he wrote that sounds actually really good. But again, I don't know all the details and haven't actually read it. But I've got to say, I was not a massive fan of Episode 9. I just wasn't. Yeah, but it was better than 8. I liked Force Awakens, but like I didn't like the next one, 8, and I wasn't a massive fan of 9. Anyway, at least he got a co-story credit, so that's fine. He co-wrote 2015's record-breaking Jurassic World, which again I think was great, which made 1.67 billion worldwide at Universal, as well as the sequel Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Again, both of those I'm with him on. I don't think he was anywhere near Dominion. I hope he wasn't near Dominion. Yeah, super kid-friendly stuff to a degree there. Liquid Identity, yeah, to a degree. Check in with Mega J Retro and Toy Habits. They are banding together to support Artist Shark. Oh, cool. Okay, I will check that out. Absolutely. Oh, here we go. Ryan says the director of Jurassic World was originally signed on to direct Star Wars 9. Connolly wrote the story treatment with that director before Disney changed creative teams. Thank you, Ryan Daly. That's the full details and not my ham-fisted kind of like bundle through what I heard on the grapevine. Writing feels a lost art in big pictures now. It does, Leon, actually. So yeah, I mean, I've got to say, this is one of those things where I'm not like super like excited when it's like well, that's not true. If a writer joins the team, the creative team for a film that I'm excited for, and they have a really good track record or whatever, then I do get excited. In this case, it's like I still think there's a lot of stuff to go before we actually get any idea of what we're going to expect. Thank you, Cameron Lewis, for the super chat. That is very kind of you. If you meant, or if you were going to put a comment in with the super chat and it didn't work, just put the comment in again. You don't have to do another super chat and I'll read it out. I'll put it on screen, and thank you for that, Cameron. So if you do have a comment to go along with that super chat, like I said, very thank you. I'll do this anyway. Look, there you go, Cameron. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the super chat. And if you have a comment that you want to make and you want me to read it out, I will, of course. The Google movie was The Internship. I Googled it. Thank you, Leon. It was. Thank you very much. I would have done it myself, but I'm busy. In any case, with this, I'm not going to lie and say I'm like, oh, this is the best thing ever. I just feel like we get this kind of like news, and sometimes it's promising. This is not negative, in my opinion. I think it's a positive move, but at the same time, I think it's going to be one of those things which is just going to have to be a wait and see before we can really make any judgments in for this particular situation. Because I mean, these movies aren't necessarily known for their writing, are they? They're not known for the plots. Obviously, if a good action movie or a good movie in this kind of vein can be really well written, and you kind of hope it is. Cameron says, love your channel, just wanted to support it. Thank you, Cameron. I'm putting that on the screen because 1, it feeds my ego, and 2, I feel like I feel like you're not getting your money's worth if you don't get your comment posted. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You're a scholar and a gentleman, Cameron. Right. So yeah, I'm going to say this is positive for me. I'm not saying this is going to be the best movie ever. It probably, let's face it, right? Let's be real AF. Let's be Battle Action Force. Let's be real baff about this, right? It's probably going to be pap, but it's not going to stop me getting excited at every bit of news that comes out, talking to Justin about it. As in doing movie news bursts. I don't mean just talking to Justin as my only friend that enjoys movies, but I mean like talking to Justin on the movie news bursts about it and getting kind of like hyped about these things, because, whether it's like, successful is what you want. Does it have to be groundbreaking? No. Does it have to be a critical hit? A critical hit. Is that right? I've just said something in Dungeons and Dragons that I didn't mean to say. Does it have to be that level of quality? No. Does it have to be successful? For the brand, I kind of feel like, yes, that's the main thing here. And as a bonus, if it's any good, great. That's how I kind of see these things. I know it sounds like a little bit of a sellout thing to say, but the success really is the main part of it. If it's successful, it breeds more and better. You could argue that isn't the case with Transformers, where success didn't necessarily breed better, it just bred more. But again, it keeps the brand like very healthy, and that means we get there is an agenda behind it, isn't there? Because I want more cool toys, I want more cool classified stuff, I want more cool Super 7 O-ring stuff. I want that to be the case. So yeah, there you go. Thanos says, I would donate to your channel too if Hasbro would let me keep any of my money. I don't expect, honestly, if I really appreciate the super chats, don't get me wrong, right? I super appreciate it. I appreciate all of your comments though, as long as they're not nasty or, racist or misogynistic or homophobic or any of the bad stuff. As long as you are, and I said not being positive, but being constructive in your criticism is fine. I think I'm being constructive in my criticism now of some of the movies. And just being respectful. Like, I love that. So, like I said, you don't have to pay us, but it is always appreciated. But again, I'm not going to, I appreciate any comments. So thank you very much, within reason. So here we go. Back to this. So yeah, let's be real. It's probably going to be pap, but at the end of the day, we're going to get hype for it and we're going to push it and all that kind of stuff. So when we get to that point, if it is successful, brilliant. If it's good as well, double brilliant. And then I get excited for the sequel. Do you know what I mean? So word life. It also says Connolly also wrote Kong Skull Island, which I forgot to say. I love that movie. So again, like I said, I'm feeling this as a positive for me. I don't know if other people will though. That's the thing. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, Kong Skull Island, directed by Jordan Vogt Roberts for Legendary, and Safety Not Guaranteed, directed by Colin Trevorrow and produced by the Duplass brothers. The film won the Independent Spirit Award for First Screenplay in 2013, and Derek won the Waldo Salt Screening Award at Sundance 2012. Sorry, just some extra bits for Derek. Anyway, that is Derek Connolly, I think. Was there anything else? That was it. Now we move on to Lorenzo de Bonaventura. Now, I know he's not everyone's favorite. I get that because, he's been attached to a number of like not so great aspects of the films. I understand. I get it. I'm not going to run into the ground as much as we all have done already. I'm going to focus on what he's given us in terms of some information here. Now, he said, I'll also shout out to Is Transformers 1 Trailer 2 out on X for posting this. I think it's TF Hype Guy, isn't it? TF Hype Guy on X, or what's the word? I'm just going to say Twitter because it feels better. So I'm just going to say Twitter. More like Lorenzo D. Bonaventura, right? Yes, Ryan, indeed. Boo. I get it. LDB is why we can't have hooded Cobra Commander. There is an element of truth to that, Derek. I mean, that is a factor, and probably the major factor towards that. I have to agree. I like the last Transformers movie, but I had no expectations, but it was fun. Do you know what? I enjoyed it to a point. Then I felt like it got too Bayish again, as in like when it got like too convoluted on screen and the story just fell apart a little bit and the big battle thing happened and it didn't feel like that great. But I still enjoyed some aspects to it. I enjoyed most of the beginning of that whole situation, that movie. But then the main part for me was just the G.I. Joe bit and the fact that we had old what's his chops show up as a character. Why do I always forget his name? Michael Kelly. So that was brilliant. In any case, shout out to TF Hype Guy on X and to Collider for doing the interview in the first place. Now, Lorenzo de Bonaventura said Transformers G.I. Joe is not necessarily a crossover film in the traditional sense. So it's not going to be your both brands getting equal, screen, like massive, big tentpole kind of situation. It's going to be a Transformers film first and foremost with a sprinkle of Joe characters in to make the human characters more iconic. Now, this is interesting because obviously this was what he was saying originally. He said it originally when they were talking about the end of the show, the movie, and how they were going to do the next movie was going to incorporate G.I. Joe more. And then all of a sudden then it changed a little bit and became crossover movie. CinemaCon put that kind of logo up and they discussed that Transformers G.I. Joe was going to be a crossover event movie and yada, yada, yada. And now, of course, it's kind of like, it's almost like he's reining it back in a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's kind of reining it in, basically saying, yeah, it's a Transformers film again, first and foremost, sprinkling of Joe characters to make the human characters more iconic, and about 2 to 3 Joe characters. But he said the same about the Transformers. It's going to be a smaller movie. It's not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be a big tentpole movie. It's going to be a little bit smaller scaled, probably more like Bumblebee in that sense, where you've got fewer Transformers and fewer human characters, and kind of like making it more kind of like easy to follow, easy to character develop, and all that kind of stuff. Now, anyway, that's really all we heard about it, and that's all that's been said. So that's pretty much all we can say. Now, I've got to say, I'm not against. How can I put this? I kind of feel like I don't care if it's a huge crossover movie or if G.I. Joe is in it, not even in the background, but just like in it as characterization for the human kind of aspect or the military aspect. I don't care if it's that or if they're both in it equally and it's a big super crossover event. I don't care. They just have to get it right. They have to get it right in like the plot, the reason that they're involved in it, the character designs, the character choices, all of that good stuff has to be correct for me. I don't care if it's a small scale movie with like fewer characters in it or a huge, massive crossover summer blockbuster. Like, I couldn't give a monkey's fart. It has to be a thing of like, I think it still has to follow that, not follow the MCU plan, but it has to definitely be brought in slowly, build, and eventually kind of get to that point. They've had the opportunity to do that in multiple films and they haven't. And I feel like now they're realizing they could have done that, and for some reason we're against doing that. Maybe because G.I. Joe back then wasn't in the same kind of brand, wasn't at the same brand strength that it has now. And now you're looking at like G.I. Joe being a very hot property, whether it's Classifieds had a lot to do with that. It's really got a lot of people, like new fans. Pat and I talked about this last week, but it's got new fans on the brand. It's got fans who were like, casuals back in the, not casuals back in the day, fans back in the day, and haven't really been involved or really collected at all until this point. So it has done things to the brand that has made it like a big deal. Skybound at the moment, what they're doing could, you kind of say like, just guys, if Skybound is doing what they're doing at the moment with printings after printings after printings of an Energon universe that has G.I. Joe and Transformers involved in it, you might want to look at that, is all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and I know a lot of you have said this already in the comments in the past. You've said this lots of times. You've probably even said it now and I've missed it. But look at Skybound as an option for transferring some of this content across. Like, I feel like it would be brilliant and it would do really well on screen. Anyway, by the by, that is what LDB is saying, and I'm going to bring it to a close on the movie stuff because obviously we've still got loads to get through. I'm not. Is it even worth? I might not even bother doing the actual Dragonfly unboxing stuff because we've already done that. Anyway, I should just be thinking in my head on this stuff, not thinking out loud. But let's move on. We've actually got some game news to talk about first, and then we'll move on to Super 7 eventually. It's taken ages, isn't it? Sorry. So a little bit of Renegade Game Studios and Top War randomly. Like, I didn't even know Top War was still doing G.I. Joe crossover events, but they are. In any case, Renegade Game Studios have revealed their next Mission Critical kind of like what they call it, expansion pack. I think it's just an actual, it's a specialist pack, and it's the Bat Assault. And on the cover, we have Wild Weasel, General Hawk, and a ton of bats, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this is something I spoke about during the week as well, and the pre-order is obviously linked in the description. I think I put it in there. If not, you can find you'll find it. But anyway, the pack includes one hero figure of General Hawk, 4 elite foot soldier figures of the Bats, 1 lieutenant figure of Wild Weasel, 1 character card, 10 combat cards, 10 elite foot soldier enemy cards, 8 lieutenant enemy cards, 2 vehicle cards, 5 enemy deployment cards, 1 elite deployment token, and 1 rule sheet. So yeah, very awesome. So that's, again, available for pre-order right now. Renegade Game Studios do some amazing stuff, and if you're really into that vibe and that kind of side of things, then absolutely. Ryan says more like Renegade games, right? Of course you would say that, Ryan, being connected very heavily. We still need to talk about this stuff, really, don't we? So we'll get Ryan on an episode very soon. Sorry, it's obviously just been a bit bonkers with the parents here and everything, and working and doing the show. So yeah, I couldn't even get time to do a movie news burst with Justin. So don't feel too left out, Ryan. Justin got benched as well. So yeah, we'll definitely be doing that very soon, mate. And we'll talk about all of this stuff and really get into it. Also, I believe I've got it in here. Yes, the Unnatural Disaster free adventure, which you posted earlier, Ryan, is the crossover kind of free RPG day kind of like book. It's got G.I. Joe, Transformers, Power Rangers, and My Little Pony in it. So that's really cool. Again, like I think, what is it? Is that Carla Greer on the cover? You'll have to confirm that one for us, Ryan. Is it Carla Greer on the cover? G.I. Joe Resolute needs a follow-up, says Benedict. Yep. I can't help but add Master to Renegade. Renegade Master, absolutely. Be damaged with ill behavior. Back once again for the Renegade Master. I'm really digging the Operation Blackout designs used for this. Yes. What are we talking about? This. What Operation Blackout designs? Because I don't know which one you mean. Anyway, I have Mission Critical. I still haven't played it because it's really, obviously you need friends, and that's something that I don't have. Anyway, yes, this is the free RPG. Again, Ryan might be able to give us a little bit more information in the comments. Heart Wrencher looks like My Little Pony, or vice versa. But yeah, very cool. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was Top War, because this really kind of took me by surprise. Yes, there's a Serpentor event, and they've added it. Oh, Ryan says, I believe that's an original character. I didn't write the art order for the cover, I'm afraid. That's totally cool, Ryan. Thank you. Thank you very much. So going back, that might be an original character. I like it very much. Thank you. Thank you for the extra info. So anyway, yeah, Top War. If you guys have been playing it, I haven't. I didn't even know they were still doing a G.I. Joe event. But Beat Serpentor is a new one, which is a bit violent. But yes, Serpentor is showing up, and there you go. That's pretty much all I can tell you, because like I say, I don't play it. But if you do, there it is. And pretty much that's it for the games news. But like I said, we'll be talking with Ryan at some point soon, Ryan Costello, in the comments regarding Renegade Game Studios. And like I said, Top War is there if you need it. Anyway, we're moving on again because, like I said, I've got lots to do, and I'm just taking my time out. Okay, shall we go to Super 7 updates? I couldn't get this graphic updated in time, but of course I've added all the other information, so don't you worry. I'm shocked Hasbro isn't beginning PR into Power Rangers into the Energon universe. I don't know if I'm not sure if they want it. Yeah, it's difficult because I don't know if it fits comfortably or not. Just realized Chris is using Shockwave camo for his background. Yes, and shout out to Brian Sauer, who did the wonderful graphics for us on that. Jedi Dan 2112. I'm going to just go and say that's the number. My first super chat goes to you, Chris. Thanks for all the excellent content and positive vibes you bring to the community. Let's talk some Super 7 O-Ring. Thank you, Jedi Dan. Again, much appreciated. Thank you. We really appreciate these super chats. I do, especially because obviously it's just going straight into my pocket. I'm kidding. All of the proceeds from Patreon and everything goes into the channel. So whatever that means, basically, new equipment, getting more content out, like expanding things, and allowing it to happen. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Jedi Dan. You're a star. Right. Super 7. We'll start with Ultimate Storm Shadow version 2 homage. This was leaked in the week, and I did do a news burst about it, so I feel like I probably should have just removed this because we've already talked about it. But it's the weekly, and we have to cover the stuff that's happened in the week, really, don't we? Let's face it. Even if it's a bit quicker than I did in the news burst earlier in the week. But we don't know much about this one. There might be more news coming out of Joe Fest before before the end of the weekend, of course. Tonight is just the kind of like the preview, kind of like not preview night, but like the kind of like floor. They open the floor, like the vendors and all that kind of stuff. So it's like an evening basically. So yeah, hopefully, I'm sure there's more information coming through. I've not been paying attention to my messages, which I said I was going to, because I knew Pat was going to be like posting images and all sorts of information. Pat's been a star, by the way. All the images you're seeing of the O-rings, of the kind of Red Shadows Super Cyborg escape armor, that was all Pat basically sending them to us. Was allowed to go in a little early to do that, so thank you very much, Pat. He can't be with us on the episode, but he is with us in spirit. But anyway, we might find out a bit more about this one, but I like the idea they're going with. It looks like a standard repaint that they've gone with, like kind of like the standard version of Storm Shadow that just has that kind of homage of the Tetris blocks. And isn't it funny how they kind of match up with the background right now, even though they're slightly different Tetris blocks from Shockwave? I bet Pat's in the chat lurking in the shadows waiting to strike. I don't know, actually. I haven't seen him. Anyway, are there any Joe Fest leaks yet? Oh, dude, we are getting to that. Have no fear. There's loads. You've missed a lot today. Oh, no HASBRO. No, there's no HASBRO leaks. But there will be, obviously, Super 7. Right, so, yes, Storm Shadow. I like it. I think it's cool. I am hoping that there's a little hood in there, but I'm not sure if there will be. I think what they're doing here is like a what if Storm Shadow looked like this in the cartoon sort of vibe. And again, we've got the kind of use of him, of his kind of like sunbow animation, but then obviously they've added the Tetris stuff. And I think it looks kind of cute. I think it looks really awesome, and I'm a sucker for that pattern anyway. So anyway, yeah, this is a nice little Ultimates. It's a nice little repaint of Storm Shadow, and I think it'll work really well. I don't know what it's for yet. Hopefully we do find out a bit more information about it though going forward. Now, sorry, there are more close-up images, aren't there? I forgot about that. And of course that image, and of course that image. But we've talked about this. We've gone into it. I'm going to move on because we've got lots more to talk about. Super 7 at Joe Fest. Yes, this is awesome. So, of course, they revealed very recently that they were going to be doing Joe Fest exclusives, reaction figures, Glenda, and Cobra Mortal. Now, a little bit of kind of like extra info, a bit behind the scenes. We were informed that it was going to be Cobra Mortal reaction for Joe Fest as an exclusive, and another figure. I'm not going to say what it is because that could come out in the future, and I'd rather you guys were, that got, that was the exciting bit for you. Thunder, that was, believe it or not. It sounded like I thought someone was taking their trash out and fell over, but no, there's thunder going on. Hopefully the power doesn't go out and I get cut off. Anyway, yes, so we were told that it was Cobra Mortal and it was going to be another figure for Joe Fest as reaction exclusives, right? And then it turned out that Glenda, they changed plans and put Glenda in. Really happy, thought it's really cool. And it does, I'm not sure if it's Vac Metal. Brian said it might be, but Brian did say that they've been using a certain kind of type of kind of chrome sort of paint that's worked really well. But no, they have done Vac Metal stuff in the past. So it could be, it's hard to say. Anyway, they did reveal a few things at Joe Fest, and I'll ask Pat to see if he can get more information on that. But I don't believe we have a yes or no on that, or a confirmation on that yet. Free the Argent 7, Leon, indeed. Definitely want that Glenda, and I hope we see her in Ultimates. I think that's like pretty spot. I think that's probably going to happen, isn't it? Like, that feels like it's going to happen. And then we'd have like Glenda everywhere. I don't understand why Hasbro isn't at Joe Fest. It's their most popular line? Yeah, Derek, there's a thing where like Hasbro don't necessarily attend fan events necessarily, but they are. I think Joe Fest was a possibility, and I think they just changed tack on it. They'll be doing SDCC, of course, and PulseCon and all that stuff. Maybe it's just the fact that they're doing so many other things, honestly. But there was a thing where for a while where they didn't really do those kind of sort of fan events. Obviously, JoeCon was different because it was an officially licensed show. But anyway, so yeah, why am I still on this? There they were, and they're $20 as well, which is I think expected. I think that's what they've always been, basically. But yeah, $20 for the Cobra Mortar. I know that's the Python Patrol Cobra Trooper kind of pricing, but it's just to display the price, I believe, for reaction figures. And there you have Cobra Mortal and Glenda, and they have the original pirate material. They have the original Spanish language on there for the stuff under the names and stuff. So they've got that Spanish language still on there, which is really cool. So it's very, kind of ties in nicely to the original releases and stuff. So that's really awesome, and I'm really down for that. And again, this is the tip of the iceberg. This is the nice little exclusive of people at the show. Then, of course, we heard they were going to be revealing O-ring stuff, right? And I was really excited because Pat sent me images straight away in the chat and was like, Brian wants you to have, the images first. And I was like, fantastic. So then I had to rush so fast to post everything because I thought it was going to be one of those things where it's like they let us in, take some pictures, and then everyone else goes in, kind of thing. So I'm just really, yeah, thank you, Brian. That's very, very kind of you. And we've got some details for all of this stuff as well. So Reaction Plus. Now, let me talk to you about this particular line name and everything, right? So the plus inside a circle represents a couple of things. The O is for O-ring. The plus is, sorry, I've got it written down here just so I don't mess that up. Where did you write it? Where did you write it? I've completely forgotten where he wrote it. Yeah. Where did he put it down? I actually know this. I just want to make sure I'm saying the right thing, because as far as I was aware, this was the case. Where did he write it? Sorry, there was so many messages and so many. Yeah, it's the screw basically. So it's basically the screw and the O-ring, which is amazing. So it's the screw and the O-ring, and that's Reaction Plus. And what they've done is like they've basically done a they've called it Reaction Plus because they can then, what's the word? They can kind of incorporate things rather than saying O-ring, which is very much G.I. Joe. They say that they give it this Reaction Plus so they can incorporate it into other things. That's effectively why. Okay. They're actually, from what I've been told, they are going to be $20, just like the the reaction figures. So the Reaction Plus, as I've been calling it, or Reaction O-ring screw shape, is going to be $20. And then we get the images. So obviously we had these brilliant kind of like models, kind of like pre-production versions of a number of these figures. Battle Android Trooper is the blue comic kind of bat, so you get a different head sculpt, you'll get a different deco, so that kind of gives us a Battle Android Trooper in O-ring fashion that we haven't had before, which is really cool. So that's really fun. A positive reaction indeed, RKW. Yeah, the price is still going to be $20, guys, which is amazing for these things. It's incredible in actual fact. Now, there's going to be obviously an outlier there. We'll get to it in a second. Now, also, I can say that these particular O-rings we're looking at, the Bat, Cobra Commander, Cover Girl, Snake Eyes, are going to be kind of like standard release everywhere, right? But we do have a couple of other things to talk about as well. Yeah, plan is still $20 for Reaction Plus. There you go. Just hang on. Where I'm still trying to get all the information that Pat sent me. Where are you, Pat? Where are you? Yeah, so the new symbol at the end is the O for O-ring with the screw in the back for the plus. Brian wanted to be very clear on that. Now, the O-rings are wide release and the twins are target. Okay, so we'll get to the twins in a second, but these are going to be wide release and the twins are target. And the other thing, before we get to it, I will just say the escape armor is Pulse exclusive, Hasbro Pulse exclusive for the escape armor. But that is not O-ring, that is Super Cyborg, and we'll get to that in a second. Anything else I need to say here? Just making sure that we've got all the information. That's everything. Okay, got a few more details, which is nice. Now that's the Battle Android Trooper. Looks phenomenal. Love the detailing on that chest. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be, what's the word? I don't think it's going to be lenticular. I think it's sculpted detail, which is kind of cool. I'm going to say. Oh, Mom's in the chat. Hi, Mom. How you do? You're just upstairs. I could just say hi now, and you can hear me. Hi, Mom. They can't hear me. But Mum says, OMG, so proud, heart. Thanks, Mum. Love you. Love to Dad. And love to Kate, of course, and Phoebe upstairs. Having to obviously listen to this, me yelling. So yeah, there you go. There's the Battle Android Trooper. Phenomenal stuff. And the detail, the sculpt looks really good. And it doesn't, to me, this looks like it could be spot on with O-rings. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this could be absolutely like right in. At the moment, things are looking very good for the vintage O-ring sort of, mixing with these figures. Your mum needs to run down and co-host. They do need to say hi at some point, don't they? Maybe we'll set it up so they're not like have it on the spot. But yeah, that's definitely, we'll do something. Now, Cobra Commander. This is an interesting one. I don't really know. I think this is just going to be like a Sunbow inspired sort of deco, possibly. But effectively, yeah, it's Cobra Commander. And I mean, you've got to have a Cobra Commander in there every now and again. But I don't know what the deal is with it being something we haven't had in O-ring form, because that's really the angle they're going with. Maybe one of them every now and again has to be sort of a, not reissue, but like a character that has had that version of it. But this one, I don't know. I'm intrigued to see. Maybe it will just be the deco, and it'll be like a kind of the Sunbow inspired Cobra Commander, which makes a lot of sense in that sense. Has he mentioned if they'll ever do the ball joint neck? I don't know. I don't know if he mentioned that in our interview. We're going to be talking to Brian about this obviously after Joe Fest, so I'm sure all the information, if it doesn't come out over the weekend, will come out in that interview, and many other interviews I'm sure he'll be doing with all the other crew as well. Animation accurate, yeah, that's what I figured it would. It's got to be, really, hasn't it? Because I can't see it being anything else based on their MO with the O-ring line. Red laser O-ring confirmed. Well, we'll see. Then of course, Cover Girl. Now this is awesome because it's an O-ring Cover Girl with blonde hair. So it's going to be that one Cover Girl appearance in the miniseries, which is cool. Again, we've had her in the Reaction series, so it's only right we get her in O-ring form as well. Very excited for Cover Girl with the blonde hair. We'll probably get Cover Girl with other cartoon inspired hair as well, because she has a slightly different barnet in other animations as well, in other animated appearances. Yeah, so there's going to be, I think there's going to be Cover Girls going on, which is great. Awesome. So that's CoverGirl. Very excited for that. Snake Eyes. Now, again, this has got to be animation Snake Eyes. And again, this looks really awesome. And yeah, there's not really much else to say. Again, it's the Snake Eyes that we kind of know and love, and it's one that we are getting now in O-ring form as an animation accurate Snake Eyes. Maybe like, I'm just looking at the artwork, he's all black on the artwork, so it's probably going to be a black deco they put on him. So we'll have to find out what type exactly they're going with, because obviously animation, you could argue might be like, well, not necessarily the purple one, because the purple one was to make it look a bit more than just black on screen, obviously. But he was even in this version, there was that slight bit of like blue in there, wasn't it? Bit of blue for lads. Those are going to sell like water to a stranded man on a desert island, says Bryce H. Nice. These are must get, says Detective Dirty. Love the CoverGirl, says Slave. Those, yeah, absolutely. Agent Chuckle says 122 viewers and 47 likes. Math isn't mathing. Exactly. I like your thinking on that one, Agent Chuckles. Get on the likes. Like us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, whatever reaction you want to do. It could be an angry reaction. I don't know. You might hate me. It's fine. That can happen too. These look fantastic. Surprised they're using some of the same artwork from the original reaction figure, says Jedi Dan. Yeah, I guess that does save a bit of time though, doesn't it, at the end of the day? And I get that, a bit of a cost save measure to a degree. I think some of it is, I mean, there is going to be elements they change 100%. Yes, V2 Snake Eyes. Got here late, but wish I could have made Joe Fest to see these in person. Wow, said Joe. I know, same. I am getting massive FOMO. Did these figures skip leg day? Yes, Leon, they did. Really want to see the first Marvel ones, says Diecast Nick. Yeah, actually, that would be really cool. No price yet. $20. Talib. 20 bucks is what I've been told to be. That's what Brian has said to Pat to tell me. So 20 bucks is the plan for reaction. I'm going to say plus, but it's reaction O-ring, isn't it? Should we say that? I don't know. Whatever you want to say. My bad. I just got out of the dentist. Oh, I hope everything went okay. Just under Anderson. Pedro, Brian finally did it. Finally. I know. This is great. I'm excited. Right then. Hello, Paul. Late to the stream. Happy Friday, Chris and all. So is Reaction being rebranded as O-Rings? No. Reaction still exists. This is Reaction Plus. It's a different line. It's so they can do O-Rings, but in other facets. Okay? That obviously makes some sense, does it not? So it's not just G.I. Joe, technically. It's going to be a Reaction. It's just a brand of like Thunder Machine outside. Yeah. So that's pretty much that. Anywho, next up we have this. Now this is a Target exclusive, and this is a wonderful mirror box, Extensive Enterprises Crimson Guard Commanders suits and briefcases O-ring twins, which this was the first image Pat sent me, and I was like, oh my goodness. This is like what we as fans wanted, I think, when the O-ring, when Brian was talking about O-ring for Joe, but doing it in like a way that we haven't seen O-ring figures. We haven't had O-ring figures in the past. And this makes sense. This is something I think we've even talked about on the show, where we could have had the twins in their suits as they O-ring figures. Do you know what I mean? So like, I think this is it. This is the one for me. Like straight up, like this is where this line should live, in quirky releases that get us like characters in versions we haven't seen in O-ring. I know we have seen them technically in O-ring, but not in the way that we wanted, really. I think so anyway. I think the club did O-ring Zaymont Tomax in suits, didn't they? And obviously I know they did them in the 4-inch. Maybe they didn't do them in O-ring, but I feel like at least like they tried, and it was like the Headhunters mold, not the Headhunters, the Headman suit kind of mold. I'm not sure. You'll have to. I've completely forgotten if that ever happened. But no, this is great. Excuse me. This is great. Will they scale with Transformers Joe crossover from Hasbro? Yes, Chris, because they're 3 3/4 inches. They're the same as O-rings, so they'll fit with any. They're literally going to go with all your vintage O-rings. Therefore, they're going to go with your crossovers collaborations. Are they 82 necks or 85 necks? We don't know that yet. Leon. I believe that I don't know if they're ball joint kind of jobs. I think they might just be side to sides. I'm not sure. There might be some movement back and forth, but again, that's going to be information that Brian's going to have to give us later. Pat must be busting a gut to talk about these. Oh, are you kidding me? Like our like chat just blew up, and it was just like it was crazy. The twins are exactly what I wanted from this line. Absolutely perfect. Exactly. So this is Zaymot on the right-hand side here that we're looking at. They both come with briefcases. They both come with pistols. I believe the pistol can go in the briefcase. I might be making that up, but maybe not. I don't know. It probably should. But that's really cool. And then this is Tomax holding the pistol and the briefcase obviously closed. So they're showing one closed, one open, but that's really cool. I love the packaging. I love that they've gone for that classic mirror packaging that the original twins came in. I can't even get my hat on. He says, wearing a hat with headphones over the top of it. Clearly, I have got my hat on. It's just a phrase my dad used to use. Still does, actually. But yeah, just incredible. Emergency full force Pat tomorrow. Might have to be, but he's effectively our boots on the ground, isn't he? He's sending us that stuff, that hot stuff from Joe Fest, which is great. I have to buy that E-shaped desk now. Yes, Leon, the Extensive Enterprises desk. Anyway, amazing stuff. Now, it's not all about O-ring. We also have this Hasbro Pulse exclusive Escape Armor with Red Shadow Trooper. Are you kidding me? Super Cyborg, Palatoy, Red Shadow, Action Force, Escape. I mean, I know people are going to be like, well, hang on. The Escape Armor came with a HISS driver. Yes, we know back in the day, but this is so much fun. I love the fact that they did this, and I love the fact they did a Red Shadow inside as well. Like, and I know it's probably, let's have a look at the close-ups. But anyway, this is the box for it. Beautiful stuff. Escape Armor with Red Shadow Trooper, just brilliant. And again, it's going to be the same as the other Snake Armor that we've got, where the front comes off to reveal like electronic board, and then the electronic board's removed to reveal the Trooper, and then obviously the legs, kind of like the panels come off the legs as well. I picture Pat still dressed in Street Fighter gear, snapping pics for full force. So do I now, Pastor Pierogi. Now that's all I can imagine and see. But this is wicked. There you go, look. Now, they've redecoed over the Trooper, but my God, that looks awesome. That's so much fun. I love it. Red Shadow logo as well on the helmet. Oh, it's so dope. This is great. It's a Pulse exclusive, RKW. Hasbro Pulse exclusive. So, yeah, just... and this is Super Cyborg, by the way. This isn't O-Ring. This is Super Cyborg. This is the big Cyborg, like the bat they've done, a couple of bats, a Snake Armor they've already revealed and released, and of course this one in red, which again, I will say, we did know this was coming, but still, anywho, thanks, Mom. She's just sending me messages. 2024 is the year of the Red Shadows. It feels that way, doesn't it? What with, Fresh Monkey Fiction and yeah, there's loads of calls. The Crimson Moon, I like it. What scale? This is like as I said, it's Super Cyborg. They're like 12 inches. They're big. They're kind of big, chunky things. Like this will scale with your kind of like Ultimates as a big Snake Armor in the background. It's not exactly going to scale with Ultimates, but it's kind of like the big one in the movie. When they blow the doors down and there's like a big Snake Armor in the background, and it's like that scale basically. And there's another shot that Pat took a close up to kind of see the panel on the legs and a little bit more of just the details and the deco. Here's the front of the Escape Armor as well. So good. I'm so glad they went full force with the tampos and everything, all the logos and everything. Just wicked. Can we get the twins from the Super 7 website or only Target, says Bryce H. They'll probably go up on Target as well. They have done that with the Target exclusives. They go up on Target online, they go up on the Super 7 website, but it's like in a similar way that Hasbro Pulse get them, get the exclusives, like a small amount, and then it, that sells out and you have to go elsewhere. But yeah, they'll be on Target online, and I'm sure they'll be in Target stores. I don't think they'll be hard. Well, these might be hard to get. The not this what we're looking at, but the twins might be difficult to get. I don't know. We'll see, won't we? But yeah, we don't know all the details yet, Bryce. We won't know all the details until Brian talks on. I think they're having they're doing a panel presentation. I want to say they are. So they might talk about some of this stuff there. And obviously more information will come out. That'll be tomorrow, though, I imagine. And there'll probably be a lot of people talking, getting information on the floor tonight and posting that as well. So we'll get information all over the place until it's like made official properly with stuff from, from their panels and stuff. Anyway, so this is a Pulse exclusive, though, this snake arm or the escape armor. And I'm so glad they called it escape armor. Red shadow. They got the low. It's just wicked. The escape armor is an item. I'm not going to read it like that because you'll just see my forehead for the entire time I'm reading it. I'm going to read it on here. The escape armor is an item of survival designed to allow the wearer to escape from otherwise fatal situations. It is the strongest material known to man, with strong anti-missile armor plating that can withstand most missile systems. Although relatively light for body armor, the weight of the suit is offset with built-in hydraulics. Self-propelled, the suit contains sensors which can detect enemy personnel and vehicles via audio, radar, and infrared warning systems, and would attack anything or anyone without a proper IFF device. Love it. Weight, 700 pounds. Same. Speed, fully loaded, 12 miles per hour. Same. Range, fully loaded, unknown. Armament, remote flamethrower arm attachment with 5 minutes of fuel. Same. Remote 5.56mm machine gun arm attachment with 300 rounds of ammunition. Ordnance remote rocket arm attachment with 1 anti-personnel scramjet rocket. Very cool. Very cool indeed. UK spelling of armor. I know, Leon. I can't tell you how funny story. So I was writing not the copy, but I was writing a escape armor in a folder to put all the images in, right? And I wrote armor thinking it was going to be the way they spelt it, ARMOR. And so I wrote that as a Brit, like just expecting that. And then the images come through and I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. So we even get the spelling on the box and everything. Phenomenal. Anyway, brilliant stuff. Is that everything? I think, is that everything? Have I discussed everything? I have. Okay, well, that's Super 7. And I know, obviously, we all waited, to kind of you've all waited very patiently to talk about that. And I thought I'd stick it in the middle rather than at the end, for that. Now we're going to obviously discuss a little bit about. I'm not going to go into loads of detail because obviously it's I've already done this on a news burst, and without Pat here to just kind of riff off, it seems a little bit redundant me going into the massive detail that I probably would normally do. So we'll just talk a little bit about some classified news, but there is, I will say, a few more leaked items that we've got to discuss. Yeah, so classified updates up the wazoo. We had pre-orders drop this week. We had the Sarge and obviously Spirit and Lowlight as well. The Sarge as a Fanmazon exclusive, Spirit and Lowlight as a Pulse exclusive, and of course the Stinger with Driver. And that obviously gave us an unboxing. That also gave us a proper look at Nemesis Immortal, which was incredible. So that was all lots of fun and games. So we'll skim through. So, but the first thing I want to talk about is loads more leaked images of parts and bits and bobs. So we have obviously Nemesis Immortal's wings here to have a look at. Now these are the kind of wing, the main part of the wings, but like almost like at the tips because there are like little arm bits that stick out that then attach to these. So we can definitely see that there's going to be some sort of articulation points on them to make them a little bit cool. A lot of people talking about that they don't like the fact that the wings are a bit small. I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment because I do think it looks kind of cool. I like what they've done with it. I like how how he looks. But yeah, in terms of the cartoon, the animated movie, those wings were vast. So maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a thought to do some sort of other wing system later on, because I mean they're going to want to reuse Nemesis Immortal's parts, right? Like it's a unique build. In much the same way that we haven't seen Serpentor in, like, at all since. It seems like, to do like a one and done sort of situation seems a little bit few and far between. And I think with Nemesis Immortal, they might do a more retro vibe, like a more animated version in the future. I don't know that's the case, but that's what makes me feel like they're doing here. They're making this very like an update, kind of create more like creature vibes and stuff like that. But anyway, here are the wings. Oh, I should also say Joey Finnell. Sorry, Joey, you were the one that posted these initially. My fault. So Joey Finnell posted these courtesy of Weibo. Again, Weibo seems to be like where we're getting, or Weibo seems to be where we're getting all of these images. But Joey was the one that posted them from Weibo initially. So sorry, Joey, for forgetting to say that at the beginning. The photo, these are the images. Now I've got some of the other ones kind of did some close-ups on some shots and stuff like that. But then we have like these like legs and bits and pieces. And obviously it's hard to, there you go, Joey, thanks bud, no worries. I had to get the shout out in and I completely forgot the beginning. It's all kicking off at the moment, so it's hard for me to keep on track. So I'm glad you're in the chat, and I'm glad you heard me at least apologize profusely for not saying it at the beginning. Anyway, lots of interesting kind of items showing up on these images. We have like legs that look, I don't know if they could be like, I know a lot of people have been talking about this in the comments, and I've seen a lot of people kind of saying they could be like road pig's legs or parts of road pig's legs. I'm talking about those ones at the top in the black with the kind of brown little disc in them. Because of course you've got like, like the kind of, I don't know, they look a little bit like road pig could be rocking those pants, but we don't know is the real answer to this. It could be anything. There's a lot of mixed in parts here as well with what we think are Black Series parts too, including like a lot of people were saying, could that head be the leaked female sniper? And I believe it is a Black Series head, but we don't know for sure. So yeah, so that's kind of that with that one. We don't really know, but there are other elements on here that are kind of interesting. Like obviously this, like, is that a backpack of some description? Is that part of Nemesis Immortal? It looks a little bit Nemesis Immortal-y, but it might not be at the same time. Those like purple bits look like they're from Nemesis Immortal, like maybe his shoulder pieces. There might not be road pig. I'm just saying, like, again, we're it's one of those things where you look at it and you go, what could it be? But yeah, we don't really know at this stage. These are Nemesis Immortal parts, though. A lot of them, that chest piece, the leg, that kind of like big chunky piece there on the right hand side. There's a lot of stuff. I don't think we are looking at road pig's legs, but it's just I threw it out there because whatever. It's another figure that we're like expecting at some point. So yeah, it might be, it might not be. It's very likely not, though. And in terms of the head, the female sniper thing, I think that is a Black Series female head. We just don't know for sure yet. But that's the thing. These kind of images have popped up a lot, and they do kind of like, they do mix, some classified, some Black Series, sometimes Marvel Legends in there, and you're never quite sure what you're looking at. Oh, the purple bits are the closed fists, aren't they? Yes, Joey, that's actually true. Yes, they are the closed fists for Nemesis Immortal. The ones that I thought were bunny ears on the previous stream. Yep, that's what I thought. But you're right, because it's obviously on the sprue, and you've got the kind of like the wrist kind of peg. You're right. They're definitely the closed fists. Thank you. Thank you, Joey. Yeah, so anyway, lots of Nemesis Immortal bits and bobs. There's a better picture, clearer picture of some of those Nemesis Immortal parts as well. Again, very cool detailing. It's a great figure. But I mean, we saw the figure as well, clear as day. So these parts do give us some close-ups on some of the sculpt detail, which is nice. But we will be getting more information later, don't forget. Silverhawks. I see Silverhawks. Nice one, Daniel. Anyway, Here is another shot. Now, I believe that's a Clone Wars helmet. A lot of people were talking about, is it like Countdown? Is it this, that, and the other? I don't think it's classified. But again, nice to think it could be. But no, I believe it is some sort of clone trooper helmet or some sort of Black Series scenario. But fingers crossed it's something cool. Those arms, though, which one? What those? Yeah, with the spiky bits on them. Very cool indeed. Sorry, those arms, though, indeed, Joey. Or these arms, though. Right, I see what you mean. The ones on the screen at the moment. Chonky. Do you think maybe Road Pig? Are we looking at Road Pig bicep there and shoulder piece? Leon says it's a Clone Commando. Clone Commando, he thinks, their helmet. Very good point. And that I think that's what I was thinking. Also, you got Raptor, one of Raptor's birds. I say one of Raptor's birds. It could just be the only bird he has. But you've got Raptor's bird/birds up there as well. That could be a Road Pig arm. It is a chonky arm, couldn't it? I think that's a possibility. In any case, it looks chonky enough to be a Road Pig arm, is all I'm saying on that one. But we don't know for sure, and it's really just speculation at this point. I think that's it. No, it's not. Of course, there's more. Again, more Nemesis Immortal aspects. More Nemesis Immortal arms. And of course, you've got the shoulder piece as well, which again gives us a much closer look of those beautiful deals. He's got a lot of birds on the go. I hope he does. But yeah, there we go. That's pretty much that, I think. Is there another one? There probably is another one, isn't there? No. Okay, we're done. Right, so that's all of the leaked bits that I wanted to really kind of go through today. Again, great. Thank you very much, Joey, for posting them in the first place. And obviously, thanks to Weibo, who are leaking all this stuff. I don't know how you'd really say that. It's not really a thanks, is it? I mean, sometimes it is, because it's like, oh, we get to see stuff. But at the same time, I have been on record as saying this. I'm not a massive fan of the leaks. He says accidentally revealing something himself in the past. But yeah, I mean, like, I like that. I also like being surprised, but I also, again, and it's not one of those things like I like having all the info and not giving it to anybody. I like knowing stuff, absolutely, but I also like being surprised, genuinely. And I like it when something comes up and it's like, oh, cool. Like Glenda, for example, in the reaction Joe Fest exclusive. I was like genuinely excited and surprised about that. The Storm Shadow version 2 homage that was leaked, had no clue about that. But that is a leak, so I don't know how that is a surprise, but it's a leak surprise. In any case, we also got pre-orders this week for the Sarge, for Spirit, and for Lowlight. As I said before, Sarge is Fanmazon, and the Spirit Lowlight 2-pack, or technically Spirit Neol Lowlight 3-pack, is a Pulse exclusive. Hope you managed to get them, because I think they're still available most places. But obviously the Pulse exclusive 2-pack might be gone now. Are we going to be surprised by the Road Pig animal? Excuse me. Detective Dirty says, are we going to be surprised by the Road Pig animal? I won't say any more than I've already said, but I think I've answered this question in the past. I'm not going to say any more, but I think it's not surprising. It won't be like, what? It's not like a friggin' it's not like a hippocrocopig or a hippopotamus. It's not something ridiculous like that. It's, it's something you'd expect to a degree. Did you always sneak a peek at your Christmas presents, Chris? Only once by accident. And I don't think I ever told Mom this. She might have. I did say this on an episode, but she might be hearing this for the first time now. But I did once open the. We had a cupboard under the stairs in Munsley, where we used to live. And one Christmas, I opened it to grab some shoes to put on, right? And there was loads of stuff in there, and I was digging around for them. I couldn't find them. And as I was digging around, I moved a couple kind of coats that were laying down, and it was covering an X30 Conquest and with Slipstream. And it was the jet, obviously, the kind of inverted wings jet, for those of you that don't know, as if no one knows what an X30 Conquest is on here. As if I'm talking to like non-G.I. Joe people on here, as if no one doesn't know. That's ridiculous, sorry. It was X30 Conquest with Slipstream. And I saw it and I was like, oh no. And I put the coat back and I grabbed my sneakers and I ran out. And I was like really upset that I'd ruined, and I never said anything at the time. I wanted to kind of remain very excited and, surprised. I know, Mom, and this is the first time you're hearing it, isn't it? And look, see, I didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. I swear. But yeah, that's hilarious. Thanks, Mom. But then I pretended for ages I pretended I hadn't seen it, and then when it came to Christmas, I'd forgotten about it. So I was surprised when I opened the present. So I was genuinely surprised, and I didn't even have to technically lie, although I did the entire time. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to ruin that they bought it for me as a surprise themselves. I never picked up presents, but I did used to look at receipts, says Joshua. That's genius. All new pre-orders still live in the UK, says Leon. Awesome. That's good to know. Hippo Crocker Pig confirmed. Wait, no Santa. Sorry, Leon. Maybe it was Santa that did it, but Mom and Dad were just, hiding it for me. Who's X30 Conquest? Thanks, Paul. That's genius. My wife begrudgingly listens to the show, so it's totally fine to explain. Amazing. Oh, Derek's not a fan of the Marauders subline. That's a shame. Damn, I want a hippo now. I know, now I said it's not a hippo, everyone's going to be like, well, maybe it's diversionary tactic. Maybe it is a hippo that he comes with. But a hippo would be dope, wouldn't it? Anyway, we had pre-orders. There you go. Sarge is the Amazon and fan retailers and Pulse, but not in all of those places right now. Jamie says, is Reaction Plus only going to be stuff we've never got, so we won't get regular versions like the Twins? Yes, because he wants to do, Brian said that he wants to do stuff that we've never had. Otherwise, because this stuff that's already available, it's not easily available, I would say. But I don't think it's not really difficult to get the Crimson Twins vintage figures. I mean, loose anyway. Boxed is another situation. But yeah, it's all going to be stuff that they are. They're going to be doing characters in certain ways we haven't had them before. I think decos is probably going to be a way around some of the reissues, like Cobra Commander, for example, is going to be an animation accurate deco, something that we technically haven't had, I guess. We did kind of have it with the Hasbro 2-pack, I think, but they're going to do it slightly differently, I guess. But yeah, that's the idea, Jamie, on that one. So you're not going to get the Twins normal, you're going to get them with their business suits, basically. We're so proud of you, says Mom. Oh, thank you, Mom. Love you. I didn't do Python Patrol either. I'm doing Tiger Force, Night Force, and Iron Grenadiers. Derek, each to their own, my man. Each to their own. The itty bitty ditty bag is neither itty nor bitty. No, Leon, it's just an awesome bag that he has. And that's the funny thing. It's like, I think Lenny obviously keeps calling it an itty bitty ditty bag, but that is technically not what the Sarge is referring to when, in the movie. He's talking about literally people being put in a bag, like a body bag. And that is just his backpack that in actual fact, it's Falcon's but rucksack or duffel bag that he ends up stealing, or he's stolen here. Brilliant. But it's great, and I love the practicality. The bag is brilliant. It's such a good soft good, and it puts all your gear in, so you can have the figure and all the stuff, all his hands in there. Perfect. Bag of hands. You absolute bag of hands is going to be my new insult. If someone annoys me, they're going to be a bag of hands. Right then. When do you think a new price point for classified vehicles will be introduced? I don't know, Lawrence. Whenever they introduce a new vehicle that kind of breaks the mold of the other price points. But I can't, maybe, I mean, that'll probably, I don't know if that would be, like a Thunder Machine or a Snowcat or something, might be one of those times where it creeps over the 99.99 mark. But I think they're trying to do stuff at the moment that is not too ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so also the Pulse exclusive there, Low Light, Neol, and Spirit. I'm excited to get these. I know, like I said, a few people aren't in the comments, but I am excited to get these. Now, the Stinger also, the Amazon fan channel and Pulse also. this got an unboxing, and the unboxing led to even more cool stuff. So there's Lenny and BMAC keeping it real, chatting their stuff, constantly hinting at HasLabs in the future. Of course, we've got a HasLab reveal over SDCC. It's almost certainly going to be the Rattler with the hints they're dropping and talking about. I mean, it might not even be worth speculating anymore at this point, or even entertaining other versions. But hopefully, when we get to it, and it's the Rattler, everyone's happy. Or if it's not the Rattler, it's just a bait and switch, and it's like, oh, that's cool. But either way, it's going to be awesome. So I'm very excited. But anyway, we get to see the Stinger. They did a nice, like, obviously the shot of the driver here is really cool. I love this deco. This deco work pops real nice on the Cobra troopers, the infantry, the officers, all those kind of vibes. So, and this is like a mishmash of all those parts at the moment now, isn't it? It's like, I don't know where the trooper lives and the officer, you know, I don't know where the trooper starts and the officer ends anymore. There are so many different like kit bashes of this particular kind of build by Hasbro that I have lost all, you know, visual sense when it comes to what a trooper and what an officer looks like. Especially considering the Python Officer 2.0 is like, I thought was a trooper. I love the fact that they've still made a mistake. How is that particular figure or figures? How are those particular figures cursed with errors? It's brilliant, isn't it? It's like they didn't do it on purpose. That was a mistake. And I love the fact that they continued the mistake from the vintage era. I just think it's genius, honestly. But yeah, I think this deco is sweet. What is Lenny's shirt? Chris was asking. It's a Sergeant's Slaughter one from like was it SDCC or one of those where you can have dinner with him at the time, and he signed it for him. I think it was an SDCC one, basically. Anywho, there is the driver, and then they do a Stinger comparison, which is really cool. Look at the size of that Hosser. Absolutely mahoosive. Now, I did get in on this. I had to get it on Amazon, though, because this is the annoying thing, right? When I knew when the blooming pre-orders were going up, we were told, everyone knew, but didn't stop the fact that I still was on the road at that point. So I wasn't able to get everything on Pulse, which isn't the worst thing because we've still got Amazon and Amazon's free delivery. So at least that's a bonus. But look at the size of that hot. It's beautiful. So anyway, when I got my pre-orders in, I managed to get the Sarge and Lowlight and Spirit on Pulse. And I did manage to sneak a little Stinger on Amazon. So awesome sauce. How many did I get, Paul? I'm not crazy like you and get like 5 of these things. I just got 1. But at least I'm looking at you, though, in the future for when I struggle for getting stuff. I'm going to be like, Paul, can I purchase that particular vehicle off you? Because I know you got like 20 of them. Anyway, Liquid says you can spot the troopers. They're the ones firing. The officers are the ones yelling at the troopers. Yeah, exactly. Wish they kept the original hubcap design, says Leon. Yeah, I know what you're saying on that one. But again, I still think it doesn't. I don't think it takes anything away from it. Do you know what I mean? Paul, you got 5 of these. You absolute psychopath. I only did 1 Stinger. All I have room for, says Derek. Same, really. I did get the. I'm not sure if you can. You won't be able to see, but yeah, I'll just get it. I'll just reach up and get it. The old ferret turned up today. It's a lot bigger than I expected, actually, box-wise. But yeah, very excited to get stuck into that. Of course, I don't do the unboxings anymore because I want to do them more professionally, and I want to aim to do them, you know, when they first come out, rather than like 10 weeks after everyone else has got them. But in any case, this is very cool. I grabbed 3, but I want to build a squad with them, says Daniel. That's pretty dope, actually. A squad of Stingers would look sick. For what it's worth, I think this driver is all officer parts except for torso, chest, head sculpt, and helmet, says Paul. Thank you, Paul. I do appreciate the build explanations. Yeah, space is a thing right now, says Paul. I imagine you don't have any of it. Anyway, what else did we get on the video, the unboxing? We got Nemesis Immortal. And boy, oh boy, look at that. That's the top of the box. Glorious. I love the deco. They've gone with the color on the box, the design. Now, a lot of people were saying that this is going to be an exclusive. It's not. It's just a standard deluxe offering. It's just in a different box because it's Cobra La, and it's he's a big figure. Now, as far as I'm aware, guys, this figure is $34.99. As far as I'm aware, this is a deluxe listing with a deluxe price point of $34.99. I don't know anything else yet. If we get more information about this and it does have a different price point, fine. But as far as we know at this stage, and having had this information for a long time, it is not. It is a $34.99 figure. Now, that's crazy and cool, and very excited to hopefully that is the case. The other aspect I wanted to kind of mention is that a lot of people are saying, well, they said it's going to be SDCC exclusive. They didn't. They said more information is going to be revealed at SDCC. The SDCC exclusive is not Nemesis Immortal, again, as far as we are aware. Is the box size a $35 box size? Don't know, Stan. But like I said, that was the price point that we have on the listing with the original listing for this figure. So I don't know. Maybe they just were able to do it. But effectively, yes, it's a deluxe figure. But that's as far as we are aware. That is the situation. Now, I could be like I said, they could have changed tack. They could have added things. They could have made different changes to it, and they could have put more more price on it. They could have made it more expensive. That we will never know that. We just have the listing price. But if it is $34.99, then I'll be really happy for two reasons. One, I won't feel like an absolute fraud. And two, I mean, that's just great, isn't it? Anyway, by the by, that's as far as much as we know. If that changes, I 100% will let you know. If we get another listing with an updated price on it, I will 100% let you know. 100%. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is out now, isn't it? Basically. But anyway, that's the information that we have at hand, and it looks incredible. But look at this design, guys. The deco is on point. I love these bone like shoulder pad things. I love the bone helmet, kind of like almost like a battle helmet sort of thing. It's so dope. It looks the same width as the deluxe figure with pet, says Joey. I mean, yeah, it could be, but as far as I'm aware, like I said, it's a deluxe listing, and that is and again with that price point attached to it. But we'll see. And if it is more, then I'll just have to go, okay, guys, it wasn't $34.99. But as far as we know, that's what the situation is. Daniel says, just giving you props. Your lives are super interactive. While being super informative, great channel. Thank you, Daniel. Again, I'm going to read those out if I see them because it's like ego boost. No, thank you, Daniel. I'd really appreciate it. Trying to decide if I need more than one with alternative heads, says Sean. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I think when they put these heads in, they know what they're doing, because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get two just so that I can have one with the thing and one without. Anyway, yeah, this is phenomenal. And again, the artwork, gorgeous. Look at the detail on that thing. And yes, I have been in this what do you call it? I've done this particular episode already in detail, but I like talking about this, and Nemesis Immortal is an absolute banger. Chris, I think you're onto something with Nemesis as a retro card release. Could have boots on his feet, just one head sculpt and a different wing attachment to fill in between his back and the outer wings. Yeah, that's what I'm not saying that's going to happen, Paul, but I do feel like as a unique figure, they want to find ways of re-releasing them, don't they? And I think that's a great way of doing that. But yeah, cartoon colors, absolutely, Leon. Yeah, and I mean, look at that artwork; it's so gorgeous. I can't wait to find out artists, everyone involved. I want to know. And this render, I mean, this is where I think the wings look really cool. I know a lot of people are saying they look a bit small, but I don't know. I think it looks really dope. And yeah, and I think the thing is, yeah, if it is a retro card, that might be something that they do as a box thing. But you're right, Paul. It would be a hell of a retro card. No room for art, and of course, the figure would be massive. The wings would be even bigger because they'd be like,
the animated series one. But yeah, maybe they could release the clam that holds Cobra Commander and Nemesis Immortal again, but in his retro kind of vibe. That would be amazing. Daniel, yes, the Skybound Cobra Commander series is phenomenal, and Nemesis Enforcer Immortal was awesome in it, indeed. Yeah. Retro packaging would have to be redone. Nemesis wouldn't fit in the current plastic shell. Agreed, Joey. Agreed. You would like the wings, all that kind of stuff. It would be something different. It would be something else, wouldn't it? If they did something like that. But I kind of feel like they haven't done anything since with Serpentor, right? And that makes me think they are willing every now and again to just take one on the chin and go, we are tooling this once and once only. Now they may do that. They may do Serpentor again. They may do Serpentor in some other way, shape, or form, right? And use those parts again. But they haven't for so long that it makes me feel like maybe we're not doing that. Maybe they're not doing that. And that could be the case for Nemesis here. Could be the case. But yeah, 2 years from now, 40th anniversary of the movie VHS line. You're right, Paul. So 40th anniversary would be a great time to start doing movie-related classified figures. And Nemesis Immortal, guys, they've got the parts to do the base figure. And then Bosch, there's your animated version in a VHS box. Am I right? Yeah? Let's do it. Let's do it, Hasbro. Come on. Anyway. And is that everything? Is that everything? No, got that side as well. Beautiful. And the front again. There you go, just to see the figure again. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Leak listings 2024, all the normal kind of stuff. No changes. Really. Oh, I need to put the Sarge Lowlight and Stinger in green. I do need to change that. They need to be in green now because they're that's been and gone in terms of pre-orders. So I do have to update these listings. Sorry. Imagine those top three on the right-hand side are green then, please, and thank you. I was really happy though. This is just a side note. I was really happy that MM Scrappy turned out to be Lowlight and Spirit after I've been saying it for the longest time. Because yeah, they are F9240 on the box. So yeah, very happy that came true. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Oh, and Nemesis Immortal is G0335, right? So because we know that, and then we've seen it on the box too, if you look at the box, you can see the number under 4+. Well, you can't see it because it's miles away and tiny. But if you zoom in, it says G0335. And that means that listing is correct for Nemesis Immortal that we have the listing for, Atlas Deluxe. That Atlas Deluxe listing has a price point attached to it of $34.99. So that is why I'm saying this so... not confirmed, but like so adamantly. And like I said, if I'm wrong, I apologize. But like I said, that's the information we have at hand. So there you go. Anywho, what else are we talking about on here? That's it, really. We don't know who Fred Deluxe is. We don't know who Whipsnake's 2-pack is. We actually have gone backwards on that rapidly. Whipsnake's 2-pack could very well be the Steel Core Commander 2-pack. Because obviously we've seen that not revealed, but leak kind of homaged in the Iron Grenadier promo images. But having said that, we don't know to confirm. We don't know. And Fred Deluxe maybe once a man Cobra Commander, but again, we don't know. We just don't know. So that is that pretty much. Now 2025 is still the same. We did get to unlock Footloose, of course, when the name only came out, but that's all we know currently. Yeah, a few minor details here and there. So Xandar Saw Viper Leatherneck Dial Tone will be the first wave of 4 figures. Then Frag Viper Blowtorch, Smithers, as it is on there, and Footloose. 3 of the next 4. Obviously, there are 2 more waves after that. And then if you go over to exclusives and miscellaneous, Daria Deluxe, Salvador Pet, they are standard deluxe and figure and pet releases. SP Philip and GG Hudson, we can actually confirm, I think. Yes, we can. So SP Philip and GG Hudson are actually related to Target and Walmart. So SP is Target and GG is Walmart. So we do know that at least, that they are Target and Walmart listings. Okay. Sewer Urchin is Fanmazon. TT Terror is a Pulse exclusive, we believe, as is TT American Made.
Arthur Deluxe is the SDCC listing. Man Cow is a Pulse exclusive. Red Scare is a Pulse exclusive. Dinosaur Neil is a Pulse exclusive. And Legacy RR Tommy is another 60th, or Legacy as they're calling it in the listings now. And then, of course, we've got all the retro classified stuff. Missed opportunity to make Mr. Burns Blowtorch. That's a really good point, because Mr. Burns is all the way at the bottom there, isn't he? Maybe it's Charbroil finally for Jeremy in the chat. Anyway, so that's all we know currently at the moment. What else do we know? Name only reveals. Oh yeah, I've updated that at least. I took Nemesis Immortal out because obviously we've seen that now. It's not even a render, but we've seen it, so that's great. And now we've got like a matching set of shapes going on for a change. Anyway, so that's all we know at the moment, and hopefully we'll see more renders soon. I need to get Footloose out, don't I? I need to get the Footloose, get your Footloose out video out, but we'll get to that very soon. Anything else? Oh yeah, digital renders, Dial Tone and Saw Viper, and that is everything now, I believe, for the classified updates, and that's everything for the weekly. It's been a long one. Pat hasn't even been on, and we've still got more to talk about. We've actually got lots to talk about, and Kickley went and posted something just as I went live before I could do anything about it, so that's going to have to go on to next weekly. But anyway, another wonderful Kickley piece has gone up. In any case, let's get stuck in to a little bit of shout outs.
Have you tried Hoarder yet? No? Well, you need to. If you have a collection of things and want to create a fun and easy way of organising it and of course showing it off, then get involved. You can post items and build collections, and you can drop a status like getting a fun delivery or seeing some awesome related stuff on your travels. Build your collections with Hoarder. The app is free to download on Google Play and the App Store, so what are you waiting for? Get to hoarding.
Yo, it's shout outs time. So, first up is Pat, and of course, Phil of Articulated Points. Now, of course, Pat is my co-host. He's at Joe Fest currently getting us information from the ground, which is brilliant. So thank you, Pat, for all of the images. I imagine there's going to be a crap ton more tonight, and of course, going into what do you call it? Going into like the actual first day of Joe Fest on Saturday. So I'm going to keep my ear to the ground. Obviously, we went live with the weekly tonight because I didn't want to get. I was hoping there wouldn't be like loads revealed while we were going live and stuff. So I thought I'll be able to do like maybe a live on Saturday night if there's more stuff to talk about, which I'm sure there will be, and give you like a bit more content over the weekend. But in any case, here's your weekly a bit early. Sorry, guys, I won't be one at 10 tomorrow. I'm busy tomorrow anyway. We've got stuff to do with the fam, so that's how it is. So yeah, the shout out to Pat and Phil, and like I said, shout out to Pat on the ground at Joe Fest right now. Can we change Pat's picture to him in Street Fighter gear? I should have just left the previous one up, shouldn't I? It's amazing. Wonderful shout out, of course, to my wonderful wife Kate and Phoebes, and to my folks who are joining us, of course, at the moment from the UK. We've had a lovely time so far. I've gone to lots of places, done lots of walks, eaten lots of food. It's been ridiculous. I've probably put on about £500 since they've been here. But it's been great, and we're having a great time. And they've probably gone to bed now because it's really late now with jet lag and everything. And yeah, so anyway, massive shout out to the fam. Big shout out, of course, to Brian Sauer, of course, for the amazing graphics. And of course, he's at Joe Fest as well, doing his own stuff and promoting Codename Iowa's Assembly Required, the in-person convention. Again, they're promoting their convention at Joe Fest right now, which is great. And then will be, of course, November the 8th and 9th of 2024. More information to come over the weekend, of course. Who's Annie Case? Genius, Jamie Lynn. What can we expect on Tuesday, says Stanley? I don't know if they're doing anything, but I would just expect the unexpected is what I would say in that one. Now, this is really cool at Joe Fest. This is happening Saturday, 8 p.m. for those that are at Joe Fest, of course, on the 22nd. Palatoy Pizza, beers with Bob Breakin and the Odyssey of Action Force. I am so sad I can't be out there. I can't even tell you the FOMO I'm having, but also just being really upset that I can't see Bob. Paddy and Brian are there. like Skeletron crew, or like all the, it sucks. But at the same time, everyone that's there, Mark said, and I think so as well, everyone that's there, have a great time, and definitely go and see Bob with this wonderful little Palatoy and pizza situation. That's Saturday, 8 p.m, June 22nd. Join Palatoy legend Bob Breakin as he discusses the history of Palatoy, pizza provided courtesy of Skeletron. Bring your own bottle. Okay, and go, and if you're at Joe Fest and you want some more details, go either go speak to Ben at Skeletron, and he'll fill you in, I'm sure. But that is amazing. I'm so sad I'm going to miss that. Even though I've probably heard it all before, Bob. But no, I'm have a great time. Now, Skeletron also posted an amazing update for their production for the RoboSkull Mark II and the SE Special Edition, and they look amazing. I'm so excited for this. This is going to be up there with the Dragonfly coming as well. Like, I can't get enough of this stuff, guys. Blimmin' RoboSkull Mark II. I'm so excited. And of course, they've got one at the moment that's kind of going around on a spinny plate on Joe Fest. So go check that out as well. Brilliant stuff. And then, of course, we've got the 4-inch laser sword test shot with 4-inch Skeletron print. Looking very good, I have to admit. I like the kind of, the effect on the sword. That's so dope. So I'm really excited to see what they come up with finalized for this one in particular. We've also got shots of was it tooling? Yeah, steel tooling for the 4-inch red, the 6-inch red shadows, which is pretty dope to see. It's all it's interesting if you like this sort of thing, especially the kind of intricacies of how tooling looks. Really, it's kind of cool to see these like little insights, I think. And then, of course, the 4-inch Jungle Wolf Troopers, which again, very cool all together like that. Again, so much going on now. There's a lot actually to talk about with Skeletron in general on this one, because that particular post, let me find it quickly, has a lot of information regarding the updated sort of kind of like delivery and all that kind of stuff, all the information for when everything is going to be coming in. If I can find it, that is. Where was it? Have I gone past it? There it is. So Phase C, this is the progress. RoboSkull Mark II and Mark II SE continue to be produced in the factory, and they are truly glorious. Absolutely thrilled with the final quality of these crazy red flying skulls. There is confidence from the factory that both the Mark II and Mark II SE will ship from China later this summer. We cannot wait to get these terrifying beauties into your hands. Note the yellow lightning breath effect that will come with the Mark II SE. And if you want to see that effect in 3D, go and check out our post from the video that Pat sent me earlier today on our Facebook page. Elite flight stands look great and will be ready to ship with the RoboSkulls. Very cool. Robo Knight heavy metal armor accessory experienced a setback that ultimately required this mask accessory to be retooled. We believe it will catch back up in the process, but we can't yet be certain it will be ready to ship simultaneously with the Mark II and Mark II SE deliveries. So you're still getting your RoboSkulls, but that little mask addition is probably going to come a little bit later. Marauder 4-inch Jungle Wolf Troopers will be ready to deploy with the RoboSkulls. And Phase D, 6-inch Troopers, Pilots, and Gyre Wolf have been largely tooled, but we are still awaiting some critical tooling before production will be able to commence. 4-inch Skeletron and 6-inch Skeletron are making notable progress. Some tooling has been completed, but the majority of tooling is not yet finished. We love how our final swinging effect laser sword is turning out. So that's all the information. Does the sword glow? I believe it does, yeah. So yeah, amazing stuff, and loads of updates from Skeletron. And this beautiful shot here of Corey and Dave. I wonder if they actually did collide the two RoboSkulls to see what happens. But anyway, that's amazing. I love that picture. Shout out to Corey Cantaloupe and of course to Dave Proctor. And that was when Corey visited the factory in China. Anyway, amazing stuff. And that as well, Will Munio has been posting stuff again, this time storyboards from the intro, more storyboards I should say. This is great stuff as well. I love seeing Will's posts. They're so good. And like I said, you can go and get more information on Will Munio's page, or go check out our Facebook page where we kind of share it as well. Anyway, and this is another beauty. He posted full storyboards for an intro to Worlds Without End that didn't make the cut, basically. So if you have seen the first part of Worlds Without End, when we arrive on scene, we are already at the place where the Dreadnoks, Zartan in disguise, sort of half disguise, and the Dreadnoks are trying to get the blueprints. The blueprints we must find. We can't do anything until we have the blueprints. But they're trying to get the blueprints for this. What was it? I can't even remember what it's for. Is it the transmuter? Anyway, there's a transmuter involved anyway, but that's because that's the matter transmuter. That's different. Anyway, they're already there stealing blueprints for this thing, right? In any case, in this original kind of like scene introduction, they were going to have a completely different intro where you zoom in on like you go through like all the kind of this city basically. Where is it actually? I can't even remember where it's. San Francisco. So they come into San Francisco and you like go around the city basically until you come to this port basically, and we see the Dreadnoks, or we don't. We see these kind of security guards, and we see one of the security guards twice, and this guy kind of does a double take because it's Zartan in disguise basically. So it's a US government research facility, no entry. And the disguise that Zartan's in is Larry F. Houston, which is amazing, isn't it? So he obviously wanted to get Larry in, Larry F. Houston, that is, who is obviously synonymous with the G.I. Joe cartoon and everything. He wanted to get him in there, like likeness wise. So he did this as a storyboard to try and get Larry, on screen, sort of thing. And as it kind of progresses, the security guard clocks that this is not the security guard, as we see Copperhead in the water moccasin with the Dreadnoks kind of like infiltrating this establishment. They break in, and Zartan's is there as the security guard, and he's obviously got the Larry Houston face on, and he pulls that off, and it's Zartan, and then we get into where we find the actual Dreadnoks in the beginning of that show. I just thought that was really cool, and I don't recall seeing this before, so I was really happy to see Will's kind of like storyboard for that. I think that's really cool. Again, you can go check that out on our page. We posted it on the Facebook page and everything. Love it. And he also posted this original model sheet kind of drawing of Scarlet, which is really dope as well. Why did Copperhead never get transmuted? Probably because it wasn't aimed at him, and it was just like where he was aiming it. The people were involved in that blast radius. Because I remember it steps on its hand and it flips round and it just goes off. And I know it kind of covers like everything, but I just assume it was because he wasn't facing them. But good shout, Leon. Actually, good point. Also, massive shout out now to, I want to get this correct as well. These are pieces that I still don't know the full ins and outs of, but this was Ben Sizlewski, I think it was, sent me this. Sizlewski sent me this. It was basically a Mandrake Auctions kind of page, and it had these beautiful pieces of art by Masami Watanabe, and they are great. And again, like they're up for auction at the moment. Link on the Facebook page. You can go check that out. And I don't know, I think these are phenomenal. So we've got this beautiful shot, kind of black and white, of the the kind of snowcat, the snowmobile, snow job. There's a slugger in the background there, a bunch of like troops parachuting in. You've got the trouble bubbles, you've got the fangs, you've got like a cobra installation. It's really cool. I love this. It does look like a jigsaw picture, doesn't it? It looks like it could have been stuff done for that sort of situation, but it was definitely work done for maybe the Japanese market, possibly. Yeah, I just say pass now. That's I can't say the full thing now, Pastor Pierogi. Sorry. Uh, but again, yeah, Paul, these are great, aren't they? They're just so beautiful, and yeah, I love the detail in them. Like, it's a beautiful sketch, phenomenal stuff. So, and again, yeah, it's I think it is Japanese, used for Japanese merch, basically. But I'm not sure if it was used or if it was a situation where they commissioned it, but it never got used. But it does look like stuff that would have been utilized. Yeah, an homage to Money to Burn. Ryan says the snow job wasn't in that. Yeah, but I know what you're saying, Ryan. It does feel like does feel like that. Yeah, because I mean, it was Masami Watanabe that did it, and obviously he's Japanese. So I'm fully assuming as well. And you're right; it's got the Japanese logos on the vehicles. You're right there, Paul. Thank you. This is another beauty. We've got, again, clear as day, the logo on the vamp here, with Shipwreck, classic Shipwreck in a vamp. More sluggers, maulers. Another Cobra installation, looks very similar to the last one. Bit of roadblock there, nice butt. Yeah, wicked. Love these. And again, another beautiful one. What else have we got? What else have we got? Yeah, the temples are definitely classic. Pyramid of Darkness Part 5, says Ryan. That very true, because they've got the that little, the beam attacking them just before Alpine does his yodeling again with the loudspeaker. Anyway, beautiful stuff. And then, of course, we've got this one. This is another one, Ryan, that I know you're going to put the name of the episode in there again. But we've got Whales in the Snow. And then, again, another wonderful Cobra installation. I want more of these Cobra HQs, to be honest. And there's Duke in his winter gear as well. Phenomenal. I will, Stanley. Haul down the heavens. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for doing the hard work that I'm not doing. But anyway, beautiful stuff. And one final one. This is obvious, isn't it? This is that first episode of Pyramid of Darkness where Cobra, kind of like the bait and switch, where they get the fatal flurry, the fluffies, fatal flurries. It's not a McFlurry, is it? Fatal McFlurries. Now I want fatal McFlurries, which are like McFlurries, but they mutate. Anyway, yeah, definitely. See, I got that one, Ryan. I knew it was Pyramid of Darkness Part 1. I'm a heady on that one. But yeah, this is a beauty as well, and a bit of color in this one too. Love it. So all homages to the cartoon, used possibly for Japanese merchandise, or maybe even Japanese VHS tapes. I wonder if they did that. Maybe they did. I'm going to have to look into that a bit more. But beautiful work, and I wanted to highlight it on here. Also, massive shout out to Talking Joe, Mark, and Tim, who've done a brilliant interview with Dan Waters, who did obviously the Destro comics for and the Skybound Energon universe. Check it out. Link in the description. And okay, yeah, of course. Now, this is the hard part that I'm going to struggle with for obvious reasons. Now, I'm not sure if you've heard, but if on our Facebook page, we did share the news and the information that a good friend of ours, not just of the show, the channel, a good beloved friend of ours, Aaron from Roma Collectibles, has unfortunately got stage 4 cancer. Now, he's remaining very positive about this, but obviously one thing I wanted to mention is that medical bills are shocking, as you all know, in the United States. And to help with that, they've put up a special F Cancer and Cancer Sucks t-shirts. I've gone in, I've grabbed a bunch of these because obviously, we want to support, we want to help where we can. I want you, if you can, guys, it would help massively if you could, also jump in on this. Link obviously on our Facebook page, you can go and find it. What makes obviously really difficult is Aaron is obviously very close friend. It's really difficult just talking about it on here, but I want to shout him out. I want to tell him he's loved completely and utterly by us, by our whole family. And it's devastating news. And obviously we want to remain positive with him, and I want to. And like I said, this is rough, and I didn't want to, I don't want to have to talk about it, but of course I'm going to, and I want to make it clear on the channel that, like I said, if we can help in any way, this is where I can maybe help and get some of the word out, even if like it's the same people that obviously follow Aaron at Roma Collectibles as well. But anyway, yeah, difficult, horrible, and like I said, we want to stay positive, and I'm trying to. I just want Aaron, I want you to know, mate, and Sarah and everyone, I love you guys very much, and this sucks and it's horrible. And like I said, if any of you guys in the comments can help, it would be massive if you could. Like I said, these t-shirts are available on their website, and we have got the link on all of the socials as well. So yeah, go and help if you can. Anyway, that sucked, and I'm sorry it finishes the show, but like I said, I did want to do that. I wanted to, obviously talk about it. It's really difficult and it sucks, and I'm finding it very difficult right now, as you can imagine. Anyway, that aside, massive shout out to everyone at Joe Fest right now. I hope you're enjoying your time there, guys. Wish I could be there. Wish we could all be there and all hang out, and it would be amazing. I will maybe be back tomorrow with a news burst, depending on what happens with the news. And like I said, yeah, that's it pretty much. Thank you to all of you in the chat. Thank you to all of the people that support the channel. Thank you to everybody who, whatever you do, we really appreciate it. Whether you watch, listen, subscribe, whatever you do, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will be back, and like I said, stay fresh cheese bags. And as always, after 3, I'm going to go back to my family now and enjoy them. 1, 2, 3, full force. See you later.
Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on X, formerly Twitter, @TheFullForce, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/TheFullForce. We've also added a brand new Instagram, so check us out there as well, @TheFullForce Podcast, and if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/TheFullForce Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.